laws is the South Carolina Department of Motor. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not even sharing my screen. Am I? Hold on, y'all. Let me share the screen. Nobody gonna tell me? Oh, man. Yeah, it's been a little rough. I've been running around. You know, my pop's still in the hospital, but he's doing good. Um, this is the MV93 form for the DMV. This is the South Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles United States Citizens Checklist. Why am I showing this form? I'm showing this form because this is what they want you to provide when you walk into these offices. And they have laws on here. So if you go down here, especially for the real ID, you know, the requirements for a real ID is if you choose to get a real ID, you must provide 2 proofs of address in addition to the other documents. So only difference in getting a real ID is you got to have 2 proofs of address. The rest is pretty much the same. So if you don't give them 2 proofs of address, you can't get a real ID. You must have without a real ID, you must have another federal approved identification such as a valid U.S. passport, a military ID, and show it to pass security at airports nationwide or into secure federal facilities. Now, what they're not telling you is you can walk in there with a copy of your birth certificate into any federal facility. Why? That's going to show who you are. So you don't really have to get a real ID as long as you have a birth certificate. And they're probably going to ask for a picture to go along with that, and they'll let you in. I know because when we send people into court and they have court cases, we tell them not to take any driver's license or anything. Just take the birth certificate. That's it. They will let you in. But skip down. You see all of these little laws here? See, proof of South Carolina address, 6 CFR section 3711, and then the South Carolina Code section 56140. Proof of citizen, proof of identity, date of birth, 6 CFR 3711, the same law that I wanted to read you. And this is what I want to read you, and I want you to look at this because this is what you getting yourself into when you get any of their documents. The state must subject each person applying for a real ID, driver's license, or identification card to a mandatory facial image capture. So they got to capture your image and shall maintain photographs of individuals even if no card is issued. So if you get in there and they don't give you the card or nothing, they got to maintain that image of you. So when you walking into these places, they're keeping a record of your image. The photographs must be stored in a format accordance to Section 3731 as follows. If no card is issued for a minimum period of 5 years, if a card is issued for a period of at least 2 years beyond the expiration date of the card. So you go in there, they're going to hold your picture in their database for 5 years if you get no card, and it's going to remain in their system as long as the ID is valid and up to 2 years beyond the period of expiration. So if you get one of those 10-year licenses, so that they're going to have 12 years on you to hold that information. So somebody said something? Okay. All right. Mute your mics and hold your questions till I start taking questions. And I'll periodically stop and ask, see if you got a question on any section that I'm talking about. All right. So I'm muting everyone right now. All right. Declaration. Yeah, you got to do a formal declaration. Each applicant must sign a declaration under penalty of perjury that the information presented on the application is true and correct, and the state must retain this declaration. An applicant must sign a new declaration when presenting new source documents to the DMV on subsequent visits. So the declaration is pretty much the application itself. So today, I'm going to teach you how to do your own declaration and have it attached as a permanent record to their application. Plus, once you get your process completed, if you get your driver's license, you're going to do a FOIA request to get them to send you a certified copy of your application plus all documents you submitted to them to show what they have on the record. So, yeah, you walk in there, you're going to do all of this that I'm going to teach you, but you're going to come later on, after you get it done, you're going to submit a Freedom of Information Act to pull your records and have them send you a certified copy of it. And that document you're going to use in everything else that you're going to do, namely passport applications or anything else. You get questioned, you get pulled over. Hey, this is my driver's license application. You can hand that to me. This is all part of it. All right? Identity. To establish identity, an applicant must present at least one of the following source documents: valid, unexpired U.S. passport, certified copy of a birth certificate filed with the state office of vital statistics or equivalent agency in the individual state of birth, consular report of birth abroad issued by the U.S. Department of State, Form FS 240, DS 1350, FS 545. Valid unexpired permanent residence card, Form I-551 issued by DHS or INS. Unexpired employment authorization document issued by DHS, Form I-766 or Form I-688B. Unexpired foreign passport with a valid unexpired U.S. visa affixed, accompanied by the approved I-90 form from documenting applicants. Most recent admittance into the United States. Certificate of U.S. citizenship, certificate of naturalization, real ID, driver's license, such other documents that DHS may designate by notice published in the Federal Register. Now, pay attention to what I'm about to read. Where a state permits an applicant to establish a name other than the name that appears on the source document, for example, through marriage, adoption, court order, or other mechanisms permitted by state law or regulation, the state shall require evidence of the name change to the presentation of documents issued by court, governmental body, or other entity as determined by the state. The state shall maintain copies of the documentation presented pursuant to 3731 and maintain a record of both the recorded name and the name on the source documents in a manner to be determined by the state and in conformity with 3731. Date of birth. To establish date of birth, an individual must present at least one document, including paragraph C of this section. E. Social Security number. Except as provided in paragraph E3 of this section, individuals presenting to identity documents listed in 3711 C1 and 2 must present his or her Social Security Administration account number card, or if a Social Security Administration account card is not available, the person may present any of the following documents bearing the applicant's Social Security number. And here's a list: a W-2, a SSA 1099 form, a non-SSA 1099 form, or a pay stub with the applicant's name and SSN on it. The state DMV must verify the SSN pursuant to 3713B2 of this applicant. So if you give them that number, they're going to verify it. All right? But we're going to teach you how not to give it. Individuals present an identity document listed in 3711 C1, I think that's 6, must present an SSN or demonstrate non-work authorized status. So, documents demonstrating address or principal residence. To document the address of principal residence, a person must present at least 2 documents of the state's choice that include the individual name and principal residence. A street address is required except as provided in Section 3717 of this part. Evidence of lawful status in the United States. If an applicant let's skip down to, see, this is scripture. How can you take the straw out of your brother's eye when you have a rafter in yours? Now, if you understand what that scripture is saying, that means that on one hand,
I cannot fix anyone because I got a big old blockage in my vision. And my blockage is I'm still trying to get it right for myself. I can't see around my own issues. So any information I'm giving you is going to be incomplete. It's not going to be consistent with what you need. That's why I always say the best answer I can give you, go within. Study the words yourself. Read things yourself to kind of give you enhancement. I read stuff like Reverend Ike stuff to remind me of my power. Because sometimes I'll forget. I'll get lost. And stuff like this bring me back. I'll read these things over and over again. I'll listen to the same recordings over and over again. Peace, peace. What's up? What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's having a good August 4th. Today is Sunday, August 4th, 2024. 4 days into the month of August. We are in the 8th month of this man-made 12-month calendar. It's not the divine calendar. The divine calendar is 13 months. But this is the matrix they made. So this is what I'm discussing. August 4th, 2024, according to the man-made dysfunctional calendar. So, title of let me just make sure I'm coming through loud and clear. Loud and clear. What are you consistent with? What does your consistency looks like? Give me a second. I didn't charge up my iPad, so and let it charge up before I could check something. Um, so where I go to my channel live. Looks like it's coming out good. All right, looks good. All right, so just turn the volume down. Looks good to me. All right, so what does your consistency look like? I talk about being consistent with, making positive things happen all the time. I talk about that. But what can get in the way of positive consistency is negative consistency. Because we are consistent every day with something. We are consistent every day with something. You could be consistent with watching TV. You got programs you like that you want to keep up with, and you make sure every week you're home in time to watch those. You might be into video games. You might be consistently spending a lot of hours on your video game. Your phone, you might be consistently using your phone, scanning social media content. There is consistency in all of our lives, no matter what it is. But the key is what does that look like? What is that consistency that you have? Is it benefiting you? Is it making you money? One of the things I like to, my sons, they like to play video games. I like to play video games. I was like, yo, if y'all, I'm not going to hate on the fact that you guys play video games a lot. But if you're going to do that, why don't you monetize it? There's so many people just online playing video games and letting people watch them. Turn it into money. I mean, even with watching TV, if you got a favorite program you like to watch, I'm not going to hate on that you like to watch this show. But won't you turn that into money? Somebody might ask, what does that look like? What does that look like, me watching TV into money? Well, on YouTube, there's people who got channels that just dedicated to critiquing TV shows and movies. They created this. I watched this and this and that. I think there's some copyright things you might run into with it, like, because you may not be able to show the video of that channel, but you can talk about it, your opinion. I've said this in the past. There's people on YouTube and other channels sharing their opinion on products that they buy. There's so many opportunities out there for you to make money, whether you want it to be some extra income or replace the income you have. That gives you the freedom. Right now, this is a golden time to make money. The other day, I might have mentioned this on Tuesday's show, but I'm going to mention it again. There was this short reel that I came across that talked about statistics of people who have jobs, how they have zero. They watched the study of all of the people who made a lot of money, and how, and the study was basically how they made the money. And they said a certain percentage of those people were entrepreneurs, and then another certain percentage of people who made a lot of money was investors. But they emphasized that 0% of people who made the richest or wealthiest people were 9-to-5 people who had jobs. So I shared it with someone, and they said, "Well, it's not true that it's 0%. That because people can get rich, saving through their 401k and some other thing." So they got triggered by that reel that I sent, or they wouldn't have responded like that. But they had to make the case that it's not zero. It's not 0%. Okay, let's say it's not 0%. What is the percent? 1%? Half a percent? So you want to argue with me, because the point of the thing is that you have a better opportunity becoming an entrepreneur or being an investor to become wealthy. That was the point. So that 1%, 5%, or half a percent don't matter. Your odds are very low if you hold a 9-to-5 to become wealthy. Almost impossible. But see, that's someone who is holding on. And then they went on to say, I'm gonna read the comment to y'all. I gotta read this to y'all. I hope they listening. I don't be holding my tongue. I don't hold my tongue for nobody. And see, this is how I keep friends and don't keep friends. Or this is how I keep real friends and get rid of fake friends. That's because if you're triggered by what I'm saying, then you ain't in the mindset of making a lot of money, being wealthy, and building anything that, I got. Not that I'm better or whatever. Or it's just that I want to be in the association of people who are trying to break the family curse of poverty. Period. You've been living for generations, living from paycheck to paycheck. Somebody got to do it. And you ain't going to do it hanging out with paycheck to paycheckers. Okay? Don't get mad. See if I can find it wasn't on this platform. I'll find it. Maybe I shouldn't wait for them to block me. Maybe I need to block them. Maybe that's what I need to do. Yeah, with this kind of argument, that argument says, here's the thing. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't become rich either, but they work for themselves. So there's that. Everyone's not getting out of the matrix. There's levels of the matrix. Okay, and then I said, I think the point that was being made is you have. Let's see. Let's just play the clip and see what they say. If y'all can hear that, let's just play the clip. Play the clip. Then you can understand the conversation.
Out something interesting, guys. The rich people in the world are 74% entrepreneurs. There is 12% investors, 8% are athletes, and 4% are artists. The shocking part is 0% are employees. This clearly indicates that you can't just work at McDonald's and expect to be rich. You can't just work at an office job and expect to be rich. Most of the millionaires are producers and not consumers. Try and make your first 1,000 band. Try and start your business now. Just start. You don't need a lot of planning. Working 9, 5 will make you earn money just to spend 90% on necessities to survive. This is scarier than pursuing your dreams. So apparently I have done my research and I have found out something interesting, guys.
So there's the clip. There's the clip that we were just, the subject. Not the, I was just sending as food for thought. So I'll go back to the response. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't become rich either. So they got offended by that response. They didn't like something. It triggered them. And a lot of entrepreneurs don't become rich either, but they work for themselves. So there's that. Everyone's not getting out of the matrix. There's levels of the matrix. So I said, then my response was, I think the point that was being made is you have a better opportunity to be rich if you're an entrepreneur, and you have zero chance if you have a job. Then it says, I get the point being made, but I wouldn't say zero chance. There are a lot higher earners, and there are ways to invest the money you earn even on through the job. I've learned about and seen it done. It's always I've seen it done. Not that I'm doing it. I've seen it done. Okay, where you seen it done at? Let's explore that. Where did you see it done? On TV? Any of your friends doing that? The people in your circle? Now, if somebody's in your circle doing that, oh, good. Follow that. Follow that recipe. And yes, you can become a millionaire. I've known people become millionaires working for UPS, but here's the thing. Let's read that answer again. It says, I get the point made, but I wouldn't say 0 points. There's a lot higher earners that there are higher earners and there are ways to invest the money you earn, even though through the job. But he said investors. He mentioned investors. So you would have to take the money and be a higher earner, earn enough money that you can take that money and invest it. Because that was one of the rich. So it's not that the job, you chose to invest. That was mentioned in there. What the point is, you have 0% chance of becoming rich or wealthy just by taking your money, your job, and just basically saving it in the bank. You will have to invest. You have to become an investor. The point was, I think I made the point. You have to be an investor. You have to duplicate your money. You have to multiply your earnings. Even when you look at the slave that only had the one thing, he could have made more money with that one small amount of money. Right? They all worked for this master. The 3 slaves worked for this master. All of them had earning capabilities according to their talents. So the one that had the one talent that he gave to be invest or do whatever he wanted, he just buried it. And that's what happens when you have a 9 to 5. You're just you working for a master and you just burying it. You're not trying to grow it. You have to become an investor. Because the master said, you could have done this. You could have given it this. You could have done these things. You could have learned how to do these things. Yes, that's possible. But the chance is lower with a 9 to 5. Very low. Because most people, as in that clip says, don't make enough money that they have enough to invest somewhere. But I'm going to have to disagree with what I just said. I think people do have enough to invest. Because most 9 to 5ers choose to spend their money on frivolous things. He said it, becoming a consumer. being a consumer. But we kind of off topic because I was talking about consistency. See, this person is consistently making excuses why they don't go for their dreams. See, those excuses to me. I don't. If you're gonna be in my company, we're gonna be talking or having conversations. Our conversations has to have some meaning towards progress of our lives. Building each other. We're not sitting around having idle conversations talking about Cardi B, talking about Megan Thee Stallion, how she was twerking at the Democratic speech, whatever that was. We're not talking about those things. We're not going to sit around talking about what they like in Trump or Kamala Harris and all. Oh, who cares? We talk about things that stimulate our mind to break these. If you're in a situation, an impoverished situation, you really don't have time for anything else but to figure out how to get out of that. You really don't. But people consistently make time to do things that keep them right in that position. So that's why I asked the question, what does your consistency look like? Is your consistency supporting your poverty? Or is your consistency eliminating your poverty? And that brings me to my side point. Someone said to me, you talked a lot about money. Hell yeah. And since I started talking about a lot about money, guess what? Money finds me. I talk about money. I respect it. I give its its proper credit. Because the more I talk about it, more I respect it, more hold it up there. It seems to find me, enjoys its company with me. And I share it. I share it out there. So, and that's another thing. When I hear people say that, that's a red flag for me. That's a red flag. When I hear that, oh, this person don't respect money. This is why they struggle. And usually when I hear that, a person say that, they have issues with keeping up with their bills. And they haven't made the connection that their consciousness is what's keeping their money from coming to them because they don't talk about it. They don't think about it. They don't ask it to come spend time with them. Come on, money. Come on, $1,000,000. Come hang out with me. I'm going to treat you right. I'm going to make sure you get circulated properly. Man, you got to get a little radical. You got to. Yeah. So back to consistency. We have to be mindful that we are being consistent with something. But is that consistency positive or negative on our lives? Let's see. Let's see what the comments say. Who's out there? All right. Lake in April say, much light, peace to the gods. DJB said, morning, everyone. Peace, love, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone. DJB, since you've been associating with my channel and my content, you could just type this in the chat. I was trying to get it where y'all could call in, but Blog Talk is down. But I think y'all can get in on Telegram if you want. That's up. How's your life been since you've been learning some of this stuff that I've been teaching? How's it been working out for you? Just type in the chat so everybody can know. What's out there? I know there's a delay, so give you time to hear that. Establishment Michelle, peace. I'll watch recap. I'm working this morning. All right, peace, brother. Get your work done, man. Further your goals. He said it got better. Got better. I'm like Reverend Ike. You can't lose with the stuff I use. Can't you lose with the stuff I use? All right, it's 10:46. I got on a little bit late because I had went out, took care of some stuff. But I don't think I'd have beat y'all over the head with this consistency thing. I think y'all know what y'all got to do. You know what you need to be consistent in. Because you know, the more you're consistent with something positive, the negative stuff is going to fall away because you won't have time for it. And then you're going to get accused hang on. I don't know why. It's my phone. Getting a call during my show. Hang on, let me let her know. Beth is calling me during the show. I'll call her back. Maybe she wanted to say something. I don't know. She probably forgot. She went away. Okay. Yeah, she was calling. She probably forgot I had my show. I'll uh, I'll call her back in a minute. All right. So we got to be consistent with what you do, with your positive thing. And when you see people making excuses, oh, not everybody's gonna get out of the matrix. What does that mean? I don't care if not everybody gets out of the matrix. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about me staying out of that matrix. That 9 to 5 matrix. Let me get it straight. We are in a matrix, and there's levels to the matrix. There's people who highly perform and do good in the matrix, and there's people that's not. It's not about getting out of the matrix. It's about making the matrix work for you to your advantage. Because if you know the movie The Matrix, they were all in the matrix, and you had some in the matrix that did extremely well and did some who did extremely bad. I'm not talking about getting out of a matrix. I'm talking about in this current condition, under these conditions, making it the best that I can make it. Just because I'm in a matrix, I'm not going to sit there and just let myself go down and be in this impoverished state of mind. See, when I looked at that, that immediately said that at this point in time, this person is not conducive to where I'm going. So I have to limit my communications. Because I'm sitting here going back and forth with you about where the success is, and you're making oh well, it's not man, please. You got time for all that? You know, just little semantics. Got time for that? All right, y'all get my point. It's 10:50. Go enjoy the rest of y'all day. I'm not gonna keep y'all on here all day. I made the point. Go be consistent with something that's getting your family out of that generational curse of poverty. First, you got to enrich your mind. Make your mind wealthy. See wealth in your mind, and then wealth will show up in your reality. You have to believe it's for you. You have to believe that. You have to know that you deserve it and you can have it. Yeah, I talk about money all the time. You're going to hear me talk about that money. Get in that bag in a peaceful and loving way. So with that being said, peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to everyone. Peace out. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station.